Hey guys, and welcome back. This is the Thrive Over 45 podcast with me, your host, nutritionist Stacey Nicole Smith. And this is a space where we talk all things weight loss and wellness for the woman over 45 or in perimenopause and menopause. Today we're talking about a really hot topic, and that is GLP-1 medications. You may know them by the brand name Ozempic. What we're going to be talking about today is how to mimic those effects through food. So, I first want to preface this by saying I am a huge proponent of food and lifestyle over medication, or before it gets to that point. I feel that 99% of the people taking these weight loss medications for weight loss shouldn't be doing it. That's my opinion, because they also come with a lot of side effects. And we can get a lot of the same results by food once we understand food and the effects that it has on our body. So today we're going to get into nature's Ozempic and how we can have food mimic the same effects. Now, when you go on a quick fix or something like Ozempic, these things come with side effects. And one of those side effects is, along with losing body fat, you're also losing muscle. Now, muscle is a metabolically active tissue. What this means is the more muscle mass we have, the higher our metabolic rate, the rate at which we burn calories, even while at rest. Now, with the hormonal changes of going through perimenopause and into menopause, just naturally as we age, we start to lose muscle mass. It's known as sarcopenia. The perfect way to maintain muscle mass would be, of course, to strength train and pair that with eating enough protein. Now, I don't ever believe in all or nothing. I always believe something is better than nothing. And for whatever reason, if you don't strength train, if you don't want to, if you feel that you can't due to an injury, whatever, at least have enough protein in your diet to help slow the muscle loss and help to maintain what you have. The more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn, even while at rest. Now, one of the side effects with Ozempic, drugs like this, is when you lose body fat, you also lose muscle. What this means is when you come off of these medications, most people are going to gain the weight back, and it's going to be a lot harder to then lose it again because now you've got less muscle, you've got less metabolically active tissue. So you're just going to get yourself stuck in this cycle, and it's going to be harder each time. So if you can avoid those and do things naturally through food and lifestyle, I would strongly recommend that. You're going to have a better chance of long-term success, and of course, no side effects. Well, the side effects would be being healthy and having great energy and having a smaller waistline. Those are some pretty good side effects, I would say. Now, here is how food works to increase GLP-1 production in the body. One of the reasons it works is you'll often hear people who take these medications say, oh, I have no more food noise. And food noise basically means, thinking about food all the time, even when you've had plenty to eat. And a lot of this comes down to hunger hormones not working properly and blood sugar imbalances, which can lead to cravings. One of the foods that can help powerfully with the production and secretion of GLP-1 is protein. You'll often hear me say, if you followed me for any amount of time, to eat enough protein. But I think it's important to understand why we do certain things, because then when we understand the impact, we're more likely to stick with it, right? So one of the reasons that protein helps so well with this is it helps to, it's slower to digest in the stomach. So it slows stomach emptying. So you're going to feel fuller for longer. It's going to promote satiety. That's one of those reasons. The other reason is it really helps to signal your hunger hormones properly when you've had enough to eat. Some foods we eat and we still feel hungry afterwards. They're not signaling the hunger hormones properly, but protein will help to do this. And you want to aim for 20 to 30 grams per meal, at least. So it's going to help promote fullness. The other thing is it's going to help to balance your blood sugar. What this means is it's going to help with your steady energy levels, and it's going to help to prevent against food cravings. And food cravings is something that really can mess with people. So we want to squash those food cravings. The other thing is These medications are actually diabetic medications. And the reason they help with weight loss is because, especially as women, as we enter into perimenopause and menopause, with our other hormonal fluctuations, this can lead to insulin resistance. What this means is when we eat, our food is more likely to be stored as fat instead of uptaking into the cells by the body and used as energy. So our food energy is having a tough time getting into those cells so we can burn it off. That's insulin resistance. So we want our cells to be a little more sensitive to insulin. And so what these injections are doing. However, food does the same thing. When we have enough protein, it helps with insulin sensitivity. It helps signal to our body to start utilizing that food as fuel and burning it off instead of storing it as fat. So it's slower to digest, so it makes us feel fuller for longer. It helps to signal our hunger hormones properly when we've had enough to eat. And it helps to balance out that blood sugar and improve insulin sensitivity so that we're not having food cravings, so that we have balanced energy, and so that our food is more likely to be burned off as fuel instead of stored as fat. Additionally, it's going to help maintain muscle mass. The more muscle mass we have, the higher our metabolic rate, the rate at which we burn calories, even while at rest. Now, the powerhouse is if you couple this with another GLP-1 promoter, which is fiber. Fiber has similar effects. It also helps with gut health. Now, our gut health is also intricately involved, but I'm trying to keep this as simplified as possible today. When we have fiber, of course, it is slower to digest. It helps to balance our blood sugar, and it helps signal to our brain when we've had enough to eat, signal those hunger hormones properly. Now, when you pair these two together, you've got a powerhouse, protein and fiber. And with fiber, you want to aim to be getting at least 25 to 30 grams of fiber a day. Most people aren't getting anywhere close to that, which is crazy. This is the combo that you want. You want your protein, ideally 30 grams of protein 3 times a day, and you want your fiber, ideally at least 25 to 30 grams a day. Cool, so we're just gonna review this real quick. We don't need to take medications. 99% of people who are taking them should not be taking them, in my opinion. You can do the same through food. It's just having a simple understanding of how to manipulate food so it works for us and not against us. And of course, no one is going to be able to keep weight off long term when you're just white knuckling it through willpower, and you're having all these cravings and you're having all this food noise and you still feel hungry when you've eaten. But we can squash that with food. You can eat plenty. You can feel satiated. You can have steady energy. You can eliminate cravings. And we can do this by eating the proper foods in the proper amounts. I hope you found this helpful. I drop content like this once a week, every week. If you'd like to be notified of the next episode, please follow along and you will get your notification. Additionally, I hope you have a beautiful afternoon. Bye.